I guess it will just tell you. I was just going to say, and I'm going to record it, but I guess it just tells you that. Anyways. Okay. So first off, I was just telling this to Quita. I want to know what y'all did for the 4th of July. The 4th is like one of those times that I absolutely love for people to just kind of take some time away and enjoy family, friends, whatever it is, because what's so crazy is we're celebrating freedom, right? And I feel like that is something we work for in this business on all levels. And so for me, it is so big. And I was telling Vanessa, you know what, amongst all of that, while we were away and on vacation, it was so funny, but I would get up early, get my work done, and then enjoy my entire day. And then once things quieted down at night, I would go back and get some of my work done. And for a long time, people are always like, why do you still work if you're on vacation? And you guys, the thing is I get to take those really prolonged vacations because of doing this business and working my business and staying consistent with my business. So it's so funny, but when I am actually on vacation and the reason why I get to be there, it's almost like this mental thing where I'm like, I enjoy getting to continue that. And only because I want my goals and my dreams to continue forward. So I just want to share something. Some people had to work. Some people were at cabins. Yes, Vanessa, I saw all your stuff. That was so beautiful. Hung out with friends. Ava, oh my gosh, I haven't heard her name in forever. Anyway, so I hope that you guys enjoyed your time and time just to reflect and everything like that. And it's crazy because we're halfway through 2021, which is insane to even think about. It has gone so incredibly fast and we have so much more time left. That's the cool thing. But I just want to share something with you. And I was sharing this with Vanessa. And so when I was away, it was kind of crazy because you guys, we were driving home. We had a few days left of our vacation, but we were driving home from the cabin. And the whole drive home, Kevin and I are sitting there and we're like talking. And it's like all these new goals that were just inspired by living out one of the goals that we had accomplished because of this business. And it was just like, all of a sudden, it was just so refreshing, so exciting. And I sat there and I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? What is absolutely freaking crazy is we're no longer timid or scared to dream. Like we 110% know that first off, you got to put it out there. Second off, we have a way to get there. And it's just a matter of time and how much time I can put in a certain amount, right? In the pace that I want to, or whatever it may be. But it's crazy to think like, here we are. I started this business for $500 extra a month, right? And that was literally just to replace my income from extra shifts that I was picking. And it's like, you check that off. Right. And then I went to go make a new goal. Like my goal, I would have never said I was going to try to pay off $60,000 in student loans because I didn't even know if I could make $500 a month. Right. But then all of a sudden you're checking that goal off and then you're made to make another goal. And that's, you guys, when people talk about like motivation and excitement and all those things in your business, it comes from within. It comes from your goals and what their meanings are. And so sometimes if you ever feel like you're lacking that, I want you to go revisit those. And I'm going to talk about tonight, just even, we're going to go over like ruts. You know, I hear that sometimes, like, I feel like I'm in a rut or I'm discouraged or whatever it is. And you guys, the thing is I love when people actually just speak about it because it's going to happen. It happens in real life, like even outside of business, right? But there's always things that are changing. And so it's part of the process. And so I want you guys to know sometimes those feelings are normal. However, I also want to show you how to regroup and refocus and be able to turn your ruts into runs, because that's the difference between people who continue forward and grow forward and grow in all areas of life and the people who quit, like straight up. So it was really neat when I was sitting there thinking, but I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a good topic. And especially coming into the half of the year, because we do have a lot of time. We've had a lot of time, right? And I always tell people, like, stop looking back. If you haven't done some of the things you wanted to do, let go of it. Like, don't carry it on. Just move forward and know that you can make every single day for the rest of this year count. Right? You can only control the coming days that we're given, and you can't go back and change those things, but you can change the things coming forward. Okay. So we're going to talk about those things. So first off, I share all of this because you guys, they have massive plans for the second half of this year, like massive plans. And so I have heard this so many times, whether it be I was on an exclusive Zoom for the new product that's coming out, the VIP Zooms, there's like the Diamond Plus Zooms. We've heard it so many times, and I just want to share this with you. They are telling us, and I'm listening to this because you guys already know how I'm like huge about all of this anyways. And this is the game changer from when I missed bonuses and when I've gotten bonuses. And so you guys know, like, you get to learn from my mistakes. You can also make your own mistakes and learn from your own. But if you don't need to make the same mistakes that I made, like, let's try not to do that, right? So I always tell you guys, like, I can be a guinea pig and I'm going to be really open and honest with you guys. But here's the thing. They are saying come September, right? We have conference in September. Come September, you are going to have the opportunity to increase your check by 50 to 75%. Now, here's the thing. I want that to really seriously set in, because you can look at your check right now and you can do the math, or you can literally think, I'm going to kick butt in July and August and come into September and have a brand new number that you can add 50% onto or 75% increase onto. But if you sit back and you wait for the announcements to come, I promise you, you're gonna miss the announcements that are being given. And that's where sometimes people get discouraged, but it's all a mindset, and it starts right now. It starts in the time heading up to it. It starts with preparing and planning for it, so that way you can seize everything that they are bringing out to you. You guys, that is the difference of how I missed bonuses and how I actually got bonuses when they were being announced. It was not the work I did in the time frame that they were giving us. It was all the work that I did, the consistency, the discipline, all that kind of stuff leading up into this. And they are telling us that this is happening. So again, this is just a choice that we're going to make. So some exciting things coming up. Not only are they planting that and they keep dripping it, you guys will probably even hear it when we go back and listen to the family call tonight. They'll probably say it again, but we have a new product that is coming. I am testing the product right now. Y'all, you are going to freaking love it. Like, I am so excited for like multiple of reasons of what it all contains, okay? But I'm testing it right now. It is the bomb. It is so good. And it's just adding on. And I think that's what I absolutely love about it. So it is just going to be a very easy product that slips in, but also can blow up. But that is going to be available come July 19th. So if you are a Diamond Plus, you are going to get to hear it on the Diamond Plus call. I think the date is like on the 14th. And then they're going to announce it on the family call on the 18th, which is next Sunday, right? Yeah. It is next Sunday. So it's next Sunday, and then it actually will become available on the 19th. And I think it's really neat. You guys, they're doing something a little different, but they are making it available to auto ships first, if that makes sense. So like our enrolling customers, like it could be on their auto ship. On our LCs, like if they're putting it on their auto ship and running it, they can be a part of like, they're giving out fun things to the first 500 people that do it. So they were kind of like going off of some other companies and how they do things. But anyways, it's really, really neat, the stuff that they're doing. And actually it's pretty genius. So they're having it all set up. You guys, I am snapping pictures. I'm going to have content ready for us to share right off the bat come on Sunday. So we'll make sure that we'll have that all in the Telegram once we can do it. But absolutely just start dripping. And if you see clues that they're dropping or that other people are dropping, know that you can go and drop those clues yourself. Like, it's okay that you don't have it in your hand. You can still feed into the hype of it all coming up and taking, you can take the pre-orders, you can do those types of things and get set up for that. So, that's going to be really, really good. So that's coming on the 19th. And I was going to stay on here too, and I'm not sure if there's anybody on here right now, but Marina's on here. She's in Canada. So it is available to the US only, but I want to tell you guys, like, for those of you that are in other countries, and I know the US, it just so happens that our stuff just gets approved a lot faster. And I know that can be frustrating, but I always tell people, like, remember, like, how we have like customers and distributors from other countries, you guys too can use those products for your customers and your network that's outside of Canada, right? Or outside Mexico or outside whatever network it is that you're in. Just know that you can still use that product. And I remember when we were talking about that with some girls in Canada, and they were like, I didn't even think about that. They're like, yeah, I have a lot of, followers that are from the US or whatever it is. So until it can get to you, just know that that's a good way for you to be able to use it. obviously we still have our weekly bonuses, and then we have conference coming up September, which there's going to be some great announcements for that. So, and then for those of you too, there's the reload bonus. And when you go into your eSuite, you will see all the stuff up in the left-hand corner that's going on and that you can take advantage of. Okay. So if you're ever like, gosh, I just can't keep it straight. First of all, if you even saw my office, I am a sticky note freak, okay? It's on my maps, it's on my computers, it's everywhere. Like, I don't even try to memorize stuff. Like, I'm like, girlfriend needs help, okay? I hear mom like way too often. So anyways, I wanted to share those things with you. And then let's just get down to what we're going to talk about tonight. So ruts, I always tell people, I'm like, these are going to happen, you guys. And they happen for a number of reasons. Sometimes it's like life. Sometimes you get loss of focus. Sometimes you are putting in the work and it just might be like not long enough for you to get the results back. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, right? And that's why we say like fall in love with the process, not the results all the time, right? And just show up and do the things. But maybe sometimes it's like somebody shares their 2 cents that's just deemed valuable, and it just like throws you off and you're questioning yourself or whatever it may be. Maybe your enrollments are down, or you haven't enrolled a distributor for a while, or why do these pop-ups come? Sorry, I just have to close this quick because I can see you. Whatever it is, little things that we just allow ourselves to fall into these ruts. I always say you can't escape ruts. That stuff happens. It's just part of the process of it. But I always say when you start feeling like that, just know that this is a moment for you to grow into the next step of where you want to go. Like, I used to get so frustrated when these things happen. And then once I realized, like, Sarah, it's calling you to do something higher. It's like, I welcome it. I'm like, okay, I know what to do, right? And so the faster you recognize them, I want you to know that the faster you can regroup and you can leave them. And so I'm going to literally give you guys just like 3 tools, 3 steps that I tell everybody to focus on. And I tell this because this is what I do. Okay. And literally I have it in my little binder that has my things in here. And I want to be able to empower you to give you tools, whether you use it yourself at one point or whether you use it for your team or whatever it is. But I am telling you these 3 things, when you focus on them for 7 days straight, you truly seriously commit to them. I promise you, you will see results that snap you out of these things. Okay. So these are the 3 things that I'm going to tell you. Instead of focusing on trying to like figure out, oh my God, what's causing this? You're not going to find it. Like, and it is such wasted time. Like it's so many things that could be happening. So I always tell people, instead of doing that, just focus on these 3 things for 7 days straight. Okay. Number 1 is self-development. I always say a rut means there's signs of needing growth in some way, somehow, okay? So these are the things. Belief and mindset, we already know are going to make or break your business every single time, okay? And so if you are doing self-development, that is going to change the game for you. Learning something new. Like, go back to committing to learning something new every single day, right? And applying that. So learning new, like what can you do or learn or put into use that you have yet to do? Okay, because we share things all the time. That's why we hop on Zooms, right? We share how and what we're doing to complete our steps to success. And how people do it, it doesn't matter. We all have the freedom to do it whatever way we want. We can go belly to belly. We can do samples. We can do social media. We can do events. We can do all these different things. And just remember, these are ideas that you're not alone trying to figure it out, okay? Or you can change things up if something's not working. Turning your thinking around and thinking new, right? So instead of like minimizing, like what's the least I could do, instead be like, what is the maximum amount that I can put into use right now? Because more times than not, it's not about necessarily doing more, but it's about maximizing what you are currently doing, okay? So I'm going to put in the chat, I copied a few of these. You guys, I follow so many positive accounts, and I feel like following these types of things that pop up in my feed all the time is even better than following like examples throughout the company. Okay. Sometimes when we talk about that, we have so many people that we are following throughout the company that we're like trying to make our content 70 different people's contents the same. So sometimes if you feel that pressure of like thinking that you're trying to do things somebody else's way, start unfollowing and follow the right things. Okay. So I'm going to share with you in here in the chat some accounts if you have bomb accounts that you guys follow, that you love, You can also drop them in the chat for people, but these are all on Instagram. Let me see. Let me do it. Come on. Okay, it's letting me. Okay, so here's some of the ones that I follow every single, like they just pop up in my stuff, and I absolutely love their stuff. The other thing is, as you find things and you start commenting more on accounts like this, more continue to pop up, and I just save them in a folder. Okay. The other thing is like if you have a book that you're currently reading, or that you like change the freaking game in your belief and your mindset, or like your vision for something like the opportunity like we have our hands on, drop it in the chat. And I'm going to tell you the one that I absolutely love that I think is actually truly a very easy read was Chase the Lion. It is so freaking good. And it's by Mark Batterson. And I'm just sharing these because I feel like for so long people were like, self-development. You guys, I didn't do self-development. Like I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, where are these people finding these books? Like, I don't know which books to read. And so I just truly like to share examples. And like I said, if you have some, but if you haven't read Chase the Lion, I can find more if you've already read that one. But that is absolutely one of my favorite ones. It's ones that I give new people to because I think it's really, really good. And I think it teaches you that you want to overstep and dream bigger than even what your goals are, because if you fall short, you're going to be hitting them, right? And you want to have goals so big that you need faith, because guess what? You're going to receive so much more in doing so. Okay, so I think that is such a big thing. And then journaling. And I'm going to share this. Some of you girls have gotten it since I shared this, but 100 Days of Believing Bigger. You guys, it's so, do you love it? It's so good. It is so stinking good. And it prompts you. It prompts journal, like inputs for you. It prompts thoughts for you, all the things. But you guys, I want to just share this one thing with you that I read just the other day. And it was just talking about, it says, how interesting that we can confuse what is actually help as something that appears to be harmful. When we look at our circumstances, AKA the waves, right? So like the ruts, the hard things, like things that are trying to pull us off track, right? Of the good things. Our faith is punctured. It's not the waves that cause us to sink. It's putting our trust in our circumstances. And then on the back end of it, it just says, draw me out of the boat of the familiar, right? Like this is where we are, and as business owners and running your own business, like it's not our natural being for most of us, right? Like, I mean, I'm a nurse, right? I took 0 business classes. And I'm sure many of you guys can speak to that too, but I just think it's so true because it says, draw me out of the boat of the familiar and safe man-made methods. You guys, man-made methods are playing it safe. It's playing it to where you just are getting by and being okay with that. It's having the belief that if you want more, that's greedy, right? It's not greedy, you guys. Like you should want more. He doesn't want us to settle. So it talks about that. It says, draw me out of the safe man-made methods, and I commit to keep my eyes on you. Invite me into miracles, signs, and wonders. And it just has so many good things in here, but it also prompts just different things that you can move barriers that we've already been placing on ourselves. So first thing first is self-development. If you are not doing it, like I want you to reach out to your best friend that's part of this. I want you to reach out to your mentor. I want you to ask in chats. I want you to ask in the team page. And I promise you, you guys, we will have options for you to start at, okay? I haven't been on podcasts a lot, but if any of you guys listen to awesome podcasts, you can also put that in there. Oh, there's already some really good ones I haven't even read. Nicole Crank, her stuff is really, really good too. Let me see. Stop it, Marina. You need to start it. Like I'm telling you, it's so freaking good. And you guys, I have books that I own that I haven't cracked yet either. So again, I'm not here to tell you I have all the answers or that I'm perfect or any of the above, but I can tell you that I am freaking dang consistent and I have massive belief in our opportunity. And I know that if we can move mountains together, that you guys will be reaping the benefits of that. So here's the thing. Next thing is doing host to post. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 2 is doing host to post. Literally commit to 1 hour total. And I say 1 hour total because you can do 10 minutes here, you can do 15 minutes here, whatever it is. But I am telling you, that was not a safe place for me to build my business. It's not natural to me in any way. But as I push myself out of my comfort zone, because that's something I encourage every single day to every single one of you, and I'm not going to sit there and like talk things and not walk it. Like, that's just not who I am. So I have made myself do it. And listen, y'all, it freaking works. And it works because it's a system and it has you taking action, but it also has you doing many of the things that you need to do to network successfully. Okay. And so whether that be from afar or whatever, and I'm telling you, even it was so funny because these were my thoughts on this call tonight. And the last few days, Sloan has been so stinking sick. And you guys, I'm a busybody. Like, it is very hard for me to just sit. That's not like, that's not my norm. And so here I was doing that. And while she was napping or just laying there or whatever, I'm cuddling her, like she doesn't need anything else from me at that moment. It's like I was doing host to post and signing customers while I have a sick baby. And again, those are those aha moments that you're like, I am literally creating an income while being a mom first and being where I'm needed. Like, that is incredible. And that is something I will never take for granted. And that is something that I will always be grateful that I was open to, because it changed our life. Okay. So the thing is host to post stinking works. Okay. So if you're not consistent with it, just make it a point to do it. Write it down, put it in your notebook. And here's the thing, start out, you guys, with achievable goals. I think so many times we hop on a training or we hear this and they're like, I'm getting up 10 host to post every single day. If you've never done it, start with 5. Like, try to get 4 up. Just even do that for a week straight and then up your number as you get your flow down. But stop thinking like, if I don't get what somebody's built themselves up to and is their max each day, that I'm failing at it. You're not failing at it. You just need to amp it down just a tiny bit to make it doable for you. And as you get the flow down and as you get more consistent and more comfortable, you will be getting up 10 a day. You will be growing your network. You will be messaging people. You will have people to follow up with. And I'm telling you, the rut will be gone. Okay. So know that we have that. And I tell people, start with 5 a day, work your number up. And then I'm going to share the message. Like, instead of waiting for people to come to you, I want you to go seek out people that have positive profiles or that have great followings or whatever. And I want you to ask them if they would be willing to put up a post for you. You guys, this is what I do. And I can get up like 40 asks in no time. Okay. And I don't even necessarily, sometimes I'll seek out at night and I'll make my little list of people if I see them through my news feed, but also anybody that I've been talking to. So like, I just put up a new post of cleanse. All those girls that I'm talking to tomorrow, they'll be the people that I'm asking if they would like to get in our giveaway as well. Whether they've signed up as a customer or not, I don't care. I can get them doing other things, right? Or you can go through your alphabet, but I'm going to put in literally what I said in the chat. This is how simple my message is. Oh, it might have posted twice, and I really apologize if it did. Okay, here's mine. This is, oh, it did post twice. Why did it do that? Oh, it posted like 8 times. Hold on, let me just try that again. What? Like, Lisa taught me this, and I thought I was really good at it, but okay, there we go. It did it once. You're like, whoa. Okay, obviously, and then you can change the name what comes with that, okay? And then on top of that, you guys, I love scripts, but I also want you to tell you, just be a human. Like, just, you can do scripts because it makes it faster and more efficient. But I also want you to know that once you ask somebody what their goal is, or if they have a specific goal that they're wanting to reach when they're asking you about the cleanse or whatever it is, you're opening up your entire store to them. And that's where you can be personable. That is going to make the difference between you just having a prospect or having a customer. Okay. So there's obviously tons of boards. If you don't have access to the boards, or you don't have the boards downloaded or the app downloaded, get it now and we can share them and blow them up in the chat, because there's a lot of them. And again, you don't need all of them, right? Because sometimes we have so many resources, but at the end of the day, if you're not using them, they're not going to do any work for you, right? So that's the other thing. So second thing is host to post, okay? We all know we have scripts, we have all the things. If you need any of that, you can ask and you can get it, okay? We have access to it. And then the third thing is, you guys, is growing your network. Like, I feel like this gets overlooked so much. And I want to tell you something, that we were on a Diamond Plus Zoom and somebody's account got completely hacked, which this seems to be happening like more and more and more, which I don't know why, but I just think it completely sucks. Listen, she literally for 3 weeks, all she did was grew her network and interacted. And you guys, she went from like account with zero to 5,000 friends within 3 weeks. I mean, that's a lot of new freaking eyes, right? And so this is the thing. So many times we're trying to do all the things, but we aren't growing our network and we're not interacting. And the thing is, like, now you have the same people staring at your content, right? Those are the people, maybe they're passing on it. That's okay. But there's a whole heck of a lot of people out there. So we have to keep adding to our network. So, and the other thing you'll hear over and over is fresh fish jump first. And you guys, it is freaking true. And that's why host to post works too. Quita's people haven't ever seen those. Right? This girl's going and posting for her. It's like she's a networks distributor. So those people have never seen it yet. Quita's going to sign up LCs from the inquiries. Again, fresh fish jump first, right? So getting those new eyes on your stuff. So I always tell people, like, get on your Instagram in the morning, add 30 new people. At night, go add 30 people. You guys, again, we're not asking for 100. We're not asking for 200 or whatever it is, but it will make a freaking big difference for you. Right? If you're consistently getting that new stuff on. And I'm telling you, every time I do that, it's like I get new stuff votes on my polls or on my stories. And I'm like, why? Why do we stop doing some of the things that we know are working? We're all guilty of it. We're human. But it's good to have reminders, okay? And then the other thing is, like, on Facebook, if you're doing host to post, you're already going to be growing your network. The other place that you can is, I say, get into a group that you actually truly are interested in, and you can add people from there, okay? And people say that all the time. They'll add to from one group until it's dry, and then they'll go on to another. But if you're doing host to post, Facebook's kind of taken care of. And then the other thing I want to say is, on Instagram, Reels, they are not as hard as we make them. Okay? They are not as hard as we make them. Like, I think for so many times I was like, I love watching people dance. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I want to do that. No, I can't. I actually tried to be a ghost for like 5 hours. The one where it's like, be I'm a ghost, and it like stops and their shadow keeps going. It's so neat, but I'm like, why am I doing that? Like, no. But guess what? I've just gone back to like ordinary Sarah, and just like, girlfriend can't dance like that. Or really, truly, I probably lack the IT skills. Let's be real. I don't know a lot on that stuff. But I'm telling you, Reels are going to get new people to your page very quickly. Okay. So find really simple ones. Find ones that work for you. Like, I love the lifestyle ones, right? I'm like, you know what? I don't probably have all these hacks, and maybe you'll find hacks along the way or whatever it is, but I do really, truly love the lifestyle one. So like, I posted one that was like 10 minutes before I was doing something else, and I went just to go see like where it was. You guys, it had 1,800 views. Do you want to know how many views I have on my stories? Not 1,800, and it's been sitting there for a long time, okay? So I'm telling you, just know that it's bringing people over. And if you need help with Reels, first of all, start watching Reels, because more are going to pop up, and you can save the reel and make a folder again. Like, I have literally like a reel idea folder, so I can go back and create that. Or you can save the audio on them. And like, I literally went off of like Alyssa Bilyeu's, like, I think it was just I don't even know, it was just like a training she did that she showed when it first came out. And that's still how I use things. Like, it's still the same thing. So I promise you, if I can watch that and figure it out, so can you. Okay. So if you haven't tapped into Reels, you will not regret it. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. So that's my recipe of getting out of a rut. I'm not even kidding. It's self-development. And this is for 7 days straight. Self-development is a must. Host to post, I just jump into it. And you know what? If that means that your stories lack, or you're not posting regularly on your Instagram, it's okay. Your goal right now is not to put out the fluff. It is to get enrollment so that your confidence grows, and that you know you are in the right place at the right time. Okay? That's what our goal is when you're in a rut. And then 2, doing host to post. 3, growing your network. Like, just get after it. Like, get after those 3 things. That's what I want you to set aside time for. Okay? And then regrouping. Okay. And this is such a good time to regroup anyways, because we're halfway through the year, you guys. And so I'm always regrouping, I feel like. So again, I'm not above those things. Like, these are things that I feel like I naturally just do all the time when I start feeling like a little uninspired or whatever it might be. Right. And so you have to just go back. What's your why? Like, what is it that you truly want? And just write it out. And know that it's going to change. My why has changed so many stinking times, you guys, but still at the bulk of it, it like comes back to, some of the main things, like my family, time, freedom, feeling prepared when the unknown pops up instead of panicked, right? Like, those are the things that I work really hard for. And maybe for some people, it might be materialistic things or like objects or who knows. And that's okay. But you just have to know what makes you tick. Okay. Because that is also what's going to make you show up. So, and no one can tell you those things but you. So you got to figure that out. You got to do the work behind the scenes. Okay. And then what do you want to accomplish by the end of 2021? I want you to think about this tonight. I'm sending you with homework. I'm not going to let you do it right now because I have things to keep sharing with you. But I want you to write down 5 things minimum that you want to do before 2021 for these next 6 months. And I want you to write down what it will do for you and how you will feel when you achieve it. That was so big for me. That was so big for me. It's always knowing, like, if I, like, even this month, if I get these bonuses, the weekly bonuses, it means like I pretty much paid cash for Grady's birthday party that he wants and his presents. Like, that literally doesn't even touch my commission check, doesn't touch what Kevin's bringing. It doesn't touch any of that. I love doing stuff like that. Or like I told Lisa, like we were putting lamps and I'm like, I'm freaking moving wraps to pay for my lamps just to say that I can do that. You guys, it's fun to give yourself small goals like that and give yourself a challenge. So I do this stuff all the time. So make sure you know what it means to you because that's what's going to make you move, okay? And then get out your map. If you're regrouping, you have to have a map in your hand. If you are promoting, you have to have a map in your hand. If you are growing, you have to have a map in your hand. I promise you that you will feel stagnant and you will feel lost and wandering if you don't have a map in your hand, okay? So this is a very easy tip just for regrouping. And then I want you to either talk with your team. If you have that map and you're filling it out and you have people that you're working with, you want to get together and talk with your team. If you don't, then you talk with your upline and you figure out what you need to do to get to your next step. So if it's Ruby and you have 2 distributors, you know that it's 1 more here. If it is regaining a rank and you need to rebuild a Ruby, guess what? Pull out a Ruby map for this Ruby that we're going to go after, right? And then you can plug that back into your big map so that it's not so overwhelming for you. I have these little maps all over the freaking place and I love them. I would way rather play with those numbers than try to do this. And then literally I take this and I just go boop right into the big boy. Okay. So regrouping is honestly, you guys, it is really easy. It's just revisiting your why, 5 things that you want to accomplish in the next 6 months, right? And then knowing what makes you tick. Like you got to know those things. Okay. And the other thing is like when you achieve one of those small goals, you best be rewarding yourself with something. And again, it doesn't have to be a buying something. It doesn't have to be, going out and spending money. It can be anything, but you should reward yourself for the small steps that you're taking because that's what leads into the big steps. Okay. You need those. You can't get past them. Just like you can't get past making $1,000 before you make 10,000, right? It's just part of the process. Okay. So, and then you have to have your map. So that's regrouping. Okay. And then refocusing. I'm really excited to share this one with you guys. Okay. Refocusing. So every day we wake up and we have the opportunity to decide what we are truly going to focus on. Okay. We see that all over the place, but it is so dang true. So I want you guys to write 5 things or words that you can read each morning to steer your focus toward your goals that you have for the rest of 2021. Okay. So 5 words that you can quickly read. Like these can be put on your mirror, on a Post-it note, on your nightstand next to you, on your map, wherever it is. The things that you look at every single day, that's where you should have these words. But this is the quick little jots so that you're reminded exactly of what that goal is. You already wrote out what it's going to mean to you. So I promise as soon as you read those things, the feelings come, right? And you guys, we listen to our emotions a lot. So, but we can also keep those in check when we work on it. They're hard, but we can work on it and we can keep those in check. Okay. So, and then let me see, what did I say? Okay. And I am going to put in here, if you need help with journaling, I'm just going to show you some things that I share. I always feel like some of them are, I always feel like people can easily think of things that they're grateful for. Okay, let me see. Vanessa, yeah, I do that a lot. When I map, you guys, I have small maps all the time because I train off of that person's map to teach them the business, to teach them how to place, to teach them volume, to teach them how volume comes in. Like, so I have all those little maps, and then I just plug them in where you can, like, you know, map the puzzle together. But here's some things for journaling. So I always tell people 5 I am statements, 5 things you are grateful for. That one's very easy for people. And then 5 things that you are wanting in your business and that you are speaking into life. So those are 5 things that you feel that your business doesn't currently have, that you're wanting, okay? So I gave some examples on 5 I am statements. I didn't do grateful. You'll figure out your grateful things, but also just gave some examples of, like, when you're talking about, like, when I write down things that I want in my business, these are some of the things that I'm talking about that I'm going for. Okay. So you guys can just kind of see that and use that as an example. Okay. The other thing is, you guys, when you refocused, I want you to know this. Deep breaths, but you have your map. You have your tools. We have more tools than we have ever had. You don't even need half of them, okay? I promise you don't. Literally, you have the support. You have team. You have mentors. You have strangers cheering you on that you don't even know, okay? Just like we're cheering other people on that we don't even currently know. And you absolutely 110% have what it takes. Okay, so you just have to make sure, like, you're following the right cat. And I think this is so important too. There's so many times that maybe you were following this one person and they were where you wanted to be, but they fell off. Don't go down this hole. Like, if they're not still going like this, you got to follow new people. Or if you wouldn't trade places with the person that you're listening to or getting advice from or following, you have to find new people. Okay, so you have to make sure. And you know what? The only thing that that's going to do is, not only is it going to help you get to where you want to be, it is going to help all the people around you level up, because you're showing them what's freaking possible. Okay, and so lead the way. So this is the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with, is something to focus on and a choice to make. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. So there's this thing that talks about fantasizers versus dreamers. Fantasizers, that's hard to say, versus dreamers, okay? Fantasizers wait, dreamers initiate. Fantasizers rely on luck, dreamers rely on discipline. Fantasizers make others responsible, dreamers take on responsibility. Fantasizers focus on destination, dreamers focus on the journey. Fantasizers minimize the value of work, and dreamers maximize the work that they do. Now, we're going to change out the word dreamers with leaders, okay? So fantasizers wait, leaders initiate. Fantasizers rely on luck, leaders rely on discipline. Fantasizers make others responsible, leaders take on responsibility. Fantasizers focus on destination, right? So, like, when people are so hardcore focused on a bonus that they're just, like, not enjoying the work that's being put in, right? And then all of a sudden maybe they fall short and they're, like, just so upset. You have to think, leaders focus on the journey. They know, okay, if I miss one thing, but I keep working, I'm going to get the opportunity again, right? And especially here, we know that that's totally true. And then fantasizers minimize the value of work, and leaders maximize the work that they do. So make the choice, right? We can make the choice that we can be leaders. And I tell people, lead strongly in whatever it is you're doing. And if you're like, Sarah, I don't even have a team right now, guess what? You can lead yourself. That's where it starts anyways. You have to be willing to lead yourself strong. Okay. And guess what? In doing that, you're leading your potentials without even knowing it, without them even knowing it. And they're going to all of a sudden be a part of your team. And now they will already have adopted the things that you're doing. If you have a team, lead them. Lead them strongly. Lead them with discipline. Lead them by initiating. Lead them by taking responsibility for all the things that you're doing and the control that you have. Lead them by focusing on your overall journey and talking about the vision, not just the one promotion, not just the, one DT that you're getting or whatever it may be, the entire thing. And lead them by maximizing the work that you do. Show them, you guys, show them that when you sit down and you get intentional, that you can still enroll people by putting in an hour or 2 hours of work a day. And I think I read something, I don't even know what it said, but it was said, when people say, I work a 9-to-5 job, I don't have time. He was like, hold on a minute. What do you do from 7 to 2 a.m.? He's like, that's where successful people side hustle. And it is so stinking true, because you really think, okay, so he puts off the 5 to 7, right? Because he's like, you can, you know, you get home, you get your bearings, maybe you get dinner, whatever. But he's like, literally, tons of people stay up, even if you took from 7 to 10. You guys, if people truly work their business, even from a certain amount of time or for a couple hours, like, we know where they could be, right? And that's what he was just saying. He's like, the difference between successful people and those that feel they are not, he's like, is what they're doing between 7 and 2 a.m. And I'm like, yes, it so is. So anyways, you guys, if you have questions, we can put them in the chat. But I really just wanted to address, like, you know, sometimes we come on and we give content or we give different things like that, or, you know, we'll do training on certain things. But I think mindset is so big. I always say it will make or break you in your business, no matter what. And I just really wanted you to know what's coming. And I think that's so important. And I love when they drip stuff like that, because you get to make a choice today if you're going to put yourself in a position to receive that. You just don't wait. Don't wait on it, right? Leaders don't wait, they initiate. So let's initiate today, okay? So any questions that you guys have, or anything that you want help on, or have something to say, or any of the above? No? Okay, if not, I'm just gonna tell you with this. I hope that you guys, that you have the tools and the vision on how you can turn your next rut into your next run, and see how refreshing and exciting regrouping and refocusing can truly be. Because you guys, we have to do it all the time. It's not just one time. It's not just like, if you're going to be here for years on end, these are things that we're constantly either feeling or coming across and constantly having to do, right? So it's like you're like 3 little R's, but just know that you can add those 3 R's and you can go into one heck of a run. So I'm ready for it. Are you guys ready? Ready. Okay. Now we all have to go watch the recording. Again, I apologize that I put this during the family call, but sometimes that's just how it works out. How did... I just feel it. I feel when I talk to you guys. This is why I love talking to you guys. And you guys, I think some of you already know, like, I'm a texter, I'm a voicer. At first, I think people think I'm weird, especially if they don't know me. They're like, wow, she talks to me a lot. But it's how I get to know what we can do together. So you are so welcome. Thank you. I think we're coming up on the hump here. I'll stop this for a second.